Imagine being trapped in a wooden coffin no bigger than a dog crate. You can't move. You can barely breathe. You can't see or hear a thing. You can feel spiders crawling on your legs. The air is stale. Your mind starts to slip. Now imagine being kept in that box for 7 years. This is not fiction. This is not urban legend. This is the real story of Colleen Stan, the girl who survived one of the most terrifying captivities in modern American history and somehow forgave the man who did it. On a bright, breezy afternoon on May 19, 1977, 20-year-old Colleen Stan is standing on the side of the road in Northern California, thumb out, bag on her shoulder. She's on her way to surprise a friend for her birthday. Just a simple hitchhiking trip, something she's done plenty times before. She had even just turned down one ride because the driver looked sketchy. She knew what she was doing. Then, a blue car pulls over and inside is a young couple smiling at her. The woman holding a baby. Instant relief washes over Colleen and she thinks to herself, safe. Just a nice family on a road trip. She gets in. The first few minutes are uneventful. Small talk, the baby giggling. Then about an hour into the ride, the atmosphere shifts. Cameron, the husband, starts driving into the woods. Deep, winding logging roads. The trees start to grow thicker. The road turns to dirt. Colleen starts to ask questions and stops when she hears the click of a knife opening. She freezes. Cameron pulls out a bizarre homemade wooden box. It looks like a medieval torture device. He places it over her head. It locks with a metal clasp, and then blackness. She can't see. She can't hear. She can barely breathe. When Colleen regains awareness, she's in a basement. Her arms are chained above her head. Her feet barely touch the floor. Her shoulders ache. She's not sure how long she's been hanging there. Hours? Days? Then the real horror begins. Cameron and his wife Janice bring out the box. It's about the size of a drawer, wooden, and lined with foam. No windows, no air holes, no light. They fold her inside like luggage and slide the lid shut. 23 hours a day, every single day. The only time she comes out of that box is to be tortured, abused, and humiliated. When not in the box, she wears shackles and a blindfold. She has no concept of time, and she starts losing track of who she is. Cameron later introduces something called the Company. He says they are a massive secret organization that owns people just like her. If she were to ever try and run, they would eliminate not only her, but her entire family. He shows her documents, takes phone calls from them in front of her, and leaves messages to the Company, not bothering to prevent Colleen from listening. Anything he says is law, because when you're locked in a coffin for as long as she has been, reality becomes what your captor says it is. The years blend together. Colleen is forced to call him master and must ask for permission to speak. She signs a slave contract, and Cameron even builds her a rack in the basement and tells her that he wants to make her his permanent slave and build more just like her. All the while, Janice, his wife, quietly watches, torn between jealousy, fear, and guilt. Janice had originally agreed to this arrangement in exchange for Cameron not hurting her anymore. But now she sees the monster she's enabled. Meanwhile, upstairs in the house, neighbors visit, friends come over, and nobody knows that just beneath their feet is a woman fighting, to stay sane in a coffin-sized tomb. Then, 7 years in, something cracks. Janice finally finds her conscience. She sneaks into Colleen's room and whispers something that detonates everything. The company isn't real. Colleen doesn't believe it at first. It's too dangerous to be true. But slowly, reality starts to return. And then one day, Janice drives her into town and simply drops her off at a bus station. Colleen walks away, barefoot, weak, terrified, but free. What does she do? She calls Cameron and forgives him. That's how far gone she was. So brainwashed and broken, she didn't even report him. Not until his wife, Janice, turned him in herself. Cameron Hooker was arrested in 1985. He showed no remorse. He thought that what he did was justified. At trial, Colleen testified in excruciating detail. It was so horrific that the jury members wept. In the end, he was sentenced to 104 years in prison. Janice got full immunity in exchange for her testimony. Colleen, she went on to live a full life and became an advocate for abuse survivors. She even married and had a daughter. But that part of her life, the box, would always be there. Most kidnappings end with a rescue or a body. This one, it ended with permission to leave. Because Colleen wasn't held by chains alone. She was held by fear, manipulation, and a false belief that no one could save her. But she ended up saving herself. Thanks for watching. If the story left you speechless like it did me, comment unreal below. Hit that subscribe button and stick around because the next story is even darker. Let me know if you like this style of storytelling. It's new. And I'll see you in the next one. Like always, stay tuned.